It's 9 a.m. and we're making some brownies. What you're gonna need today and the bowls that you're gonna need is you're gonna need a pan. This is a 9 by 13 pan. So I'm making enough brownies for 9 by 13. You're gonna need I have some dark chocolate chips. I was trying to find chunks, but I couldn't find chunks. You're gonna need eggs, salt, melted butter, a bowl to mix in, a bowl because I don't have a sifter, so I'm gonna whisk my cocoa powder in there. You're gonna need 100% unsweetened cocoa powder, a spatula to help you smooth things out. I have a plate to just throw extra like little garbage on. You're gonna need your measuring cups. You're gonna need granulated sugar, flour, brown sugar, and I did bring out my hand mixer and baking powder if it's optional if you want to add a more cakier texture to your brownies, and the vanilla extract. I already preheated my oven to 350, so let's get the mixing. I am going to measure out everything. I already got a cup of melted butter, so I need 2 cups of white sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of cocoa powder, 1 cup of flour, a half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon, where's my teaspoon? Okay, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and this is just gonna give it a little cakier batter, which I don't mind. This is my first time making brownies, so I'm gonna try this one. If I don't like the way that this batch comes out, then I'll try a gooier version. My balloon whisker to just whisk this all together and get all of the clumps out. I'm gonna mix the butter, the brown sugar, and the granulated sugar together. And you want to make sure that you combine it, all the sugar is wet. And it should look something like that when it's all mixed. Now we're gonna add in 4 large eggs, 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And that's why I leave this little plate here, because I just use it to just throw all my eggshells in. Okay, and now we're just gonna beat it until it's smooth. Hand mixer. It looks something like that. Now we are going to whisk in our flour. One cup of dark chocolate chips, and I'm gonna fold these into the batter. I did over mix the batter. Do not do this. I love baking. I woke up this morning and I'm just like, I want to make my brownies ready. I'm ready to make my brownies. I was supposed to make them on Wednesday because I went to a dinner and I was supposed to bring them as a dessert, but I wasn't able to. Bob Ross calls them happy mistakes. So let's just call this one a happy mistake. Next time I make sure I'm not gonna over mix because my hand mixer is really like strong. So this is how it looked. It came out a little extra over combined. I stirred it too much, but we're gonna pop this in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes on 350. So this is how the brownie came out. I did over combine mixing my brownie batter, but it still came out like a brownie. I had to cook it a little bit. The hole is in the middle. I had to cook it for extra 26 minutes. No, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. I set a 30-minute timer and then I did another 20-minute timer and I only had 6 minutes left. So my math, listen, I don't do math, okay? So whatever that amount is, you tell me. That's probably about 30, 40. It's probably about 46 minutes altogether. And it's because I over combined my brownies and because this is a large pan and I have an electric, it could be a lot of different things as to why. So just monitor your brownie as you're making it if you're using this recipe. And I use a toothpick to do the center, and when you see crumbs come out on the toothpick, that's when you know the brownie is finished. But this is the final look. I am going to let it rest for about 15 minutes. Then I'm going to take it out of the pan, cut them, and put some powdered sugar on top. You can add whatever you want. This would go great if you have some great vanilla ice cream because it's nice and warm, it's gooey. I did add baking powder, and baking powder gives a more cakier effect. So we're gonna see how it comes out and I will show you guys when I slice it up and everything else. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everyone who watched this video. If you do this recipe, let me know in the comment below how it turned out. Thank you. Bye. I am letting you guys know how my brownies came out. They came out so good. Even though I did over combine the batter when I was making it, and I did have to keep it in the oven a little bit longer, they still came out just like brownies. As I said, Bob Ross calls them happy mistakes in his paintings. You make a mistake, think of it as something it's a happy mistake and it's okay. And things are always gonna still work out. Just stay positive and it will still taste good. I paired it, I put some powdered sugar as you see in the video. I paired it with some nice cold lactate milk and it came out beautifully. I also shared with my neighbors and they loved it as well. The dark chocolate chips added the perfect gooiness to it, and I think that is also too why the batter did not get messed up, because it had still that gooiness. So when you heat it up, it was just perfect. That is my review on my brownies. And if you guys use this recipe, I hope that you enjoy it because it was delicious. Delicioso. Thank you. Bye.